Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. Hosted by Brian Poduska. And sponsored by Real Property Management Focus. Certainty Home Lending. Donovan Creative Agency. Stewart Title. The Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. Total Care. PBJ Mortgage. And by Team Watson Redeemers. The Community Difference Frisco.
To serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
Well, good afternoon, Frisco, and welcome to the Community Difference Frisco show. This is episode 14 of our Frisco Community Difference show. And if you have not seen the show before, what we do is we put spotlights on local business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, nonprofit leaders, Frisco ISD leadership, and sports leadership, because after all, we are Sports Town USA here in Frisco. So that is what we do. We also have a rotating business topic of the month. This is our first time on in March. So the business topic of March is building a strong team and fostering a positive workplace culture within a local environment. So we will get into that a little bit later in the show with our guests today. So we do have two guests. We do have two co-hosts. We do have rotating co-hosts every week, and my co-hosts this week are Chance Post and Paul Fisher. So Lennon, let's bring them on.
Hey,
gentlemen.
I said good morning like it's I don't even know what time it is. So hi.
Well, so I didn't mention earlier, we are a live stream. So this is live. However, we do go syndicated afterwards. So there may be people watching in the morning.
That's right. Maybe I just, you just kind of hit all the time zones.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I took a call from another realtor who I'm working with to rent out a property. And it was in the morning, and they answered the phone, "Good morning, Vietnam." And then she realized, she's like, "You may not get that reference." I'm like, "No, I'm old enough. I get it."
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, take it.
Yeah. So anyway, what's going on, gentlemen? Good to have you back.
It's good to be back on. It's been a while.
I've been did Frisco Chamber this morning and all points in between. So right back here. So ready to hit this show hard.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I guess this is the first time we've had you guys paired up together, right?
I think we've been on together. Maybe a different show.
He was subbing in for somebody.
Okay.
But Chance and I've known each other for years. Between Frisco Chamber and then all that that Certainty does with his total networking group and all that. So no, it's been. I mean, I'm fine with Chance. He's good people.
I'm a good guy. I swear.
I'm fine with it. That doesn't really resonate super awesomeness. Like I'm super excited to be on with.
That's right.
I was like, it'll work. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I bring that up, because I think we'll have you guys paired together going forward, so people can mark their calendars every fourth week that they can tune out if they don't like you guys or super.
Perfect.
That's right.
That's good.
Or but if they don't like you, they're kind of stuck, Brian. So,
well, they are. They're screwed.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
I was telling Joanna, you're such a great host, and now I'm rethinking my whole.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the show, you can tell we like to give each other a lot of love on the show. But no, in all seriousness, guys, it's great to have you guys on. I got to meet our guests behind the scenes here. So why don't we go ahead and have you guys introduce your guests and bring them on as well. And Paul, why don't you go first?
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Are they coming on, or am I going now?
Lyndon, we got
Lyndon. Yeah, Lyndon's. Or the Wizard of Oz is.
How about I go first?
Yeah, since we have Joanna, and we are ladies first here, so I should have
That's
said
right.
that anyway. So Chance, why don't you go ahead and introduce Joanna?
Hey, I wanted you guys to introduce my friend Joanna. She is, we've got all the legends is what we have all in common. I think everybody on the show today. So she does an event company, but she does the balloons for the legends. And with that, Joanna, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Chance. Good afternoon. Yes, my name is Joanna Rattan, and I am the owner of Events for You. I do balloons, but not only. I also do events, but most of you probably know me from the balloon side. So,
Got it. Well, I have definitely seen your balloons at the Legends games and events that they have. So it was a pleasure to meet you, and now I know I can associate those balloons with the face and a voice.
well,
So welcome to the show. Glad to have you on, Joanna. Lennon, were we able to get Kennon?
There he is.
Awesome.
Here I am.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have Kennon on, Dr. Ryder on, or Dr. Kennon Ryder. So he's in Frisco Chamber with us, but he has the B12 stores, and you always remember his tagline because it's exactly where he's located. So he's underneath the Cheesecake Factory. So, but he's going to be a great guest, especially for our topic today, because I'm always interested in how people build their teams and things like that. So, Kennon, if you want to just kind of tell us all about you and what's going on at the B12 store.
Well, yeah, that's a big ask for a short time. Yeah,
Cliff Notes version, and then we can get deeper.
we'll give the short version. Yeah. So we're a little over 3 years in business at the Stonebriar location. I have 3 B12 stores now, located in Frisco and Grapevine, and the last one in Parks Mall in Arlington. So, so I've been a busy boy for 3 years, getting those stores opened. And we don't just do B12, but we have a range of injectable vitamins and supplements that help people to feel better. It's a very simple, straightforward business. We have nurses on staff that give our injections and answer questions for people and help them to find non-pharmaceutical solutions for things that may ail them, or just to help them feel better. So, so this is a pretty exciting adventure for me. As Paul said, I'm Dr. Ryder, but I'm not the Dr. Ryder of medical, the medical side of this. I've been 35 years as a university professor and a marriage counselor. So this little adventure into entrepreneurship is new and exciting, and it looked fairly simple, but it's
from
not.
the outside, yeah.
It hasn't been anything except simple. So yeah.
Well, man, gosh, with like you and Chance, man, Chance works, I guess, as business development for Total Care ER, and
Right.
You've got yours. So we should see who gives the better shot.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting. I'm kind of into this longevity stuff now, and there's a lot of great products that weren't out that a lot of people probably don't know about. But NMN, you get one of those shots, man, and you feel really good afterwards. Like the B12, obviously everyone knows about the B12, but I mean, there's some other stuff out now that it's fantastic. So I'm kind of into a lot of that stuff now. So
and at least with that stuff, and even what Kennon does. At least you know what's in it. I mean,
right.
At least you know what's going into your body with some of these, and we're not going to get on vaccine talk, but you have no idea what's in there. So
right.
at least you know what's going in.
I mean, it actually helps your body repair itself. It's not like you're taking a drug to do something. It's actually assisting your body and what it needs, the nutrients it needs. So it's healing itself better or more efficiently.
And so much of what we do in terms of vitamins and supplements are things that are already existing in our body. They just get in short supply as we get older and have illnesses and so forth. So NAD is another one. NAD is one that comes to mind for longevity. That's such a good one. It just gives people so many positive benefits. But again, it's in every cell in our body. It's just not always.
Just kind of got to wake it up and replenish it a little bit.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Well,
Brian, you
I'm,
need any boost on anything? Are you running low on anything?
dude, I could use all the boost I can get. So Kennon, I'm not that far from Stonebriar, so I may have to mosey over and
So get your cheesecake. Get your cheesecake upstairs, and then come straight downstairs, and that's where we are, across from Barnes and Noble.
Okay, I'm in for the cheesecake and a boost. I mean, look at Chance; he's the fountain of youth here. So
that's right.
Speaks for itself right there.
I'm 55 this week, March 13th, baby.
Happy birthday!
There you go. We'll have to make some balloons for you.
We can dedicate this week's show to Chance's birthday show.
Yeah,
there we go.
Birthday show.
Well, I didn't really prepare anything fun. If I would have known that, I would have had to get some extra stuff going.
Well, it could be like, most wives or girlfriends or whatever, they have birthday weeks or months. Birthday weekends. So, yeah.
Oh, you know what I once did for my kids? He has his birthday on the 21st. Every single day of the month, he had a small gift.
Wow.
Well, that's a lot of work.
That's mom of the year.
It was a lot of work. I didn't think that one through, but it was fun. He liked it.
Yeah.
Only a mother.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure.
that's right. Only a mother.
Yeah. Well, you got to be on your toes to get 21 gifts. That's impressive. All right. Hey, guys, what we're going to do real quick here is take a break. On the back side of the break, we're going to talk about what's going on in Frisco for our What's Up Frisco segment. So stay tuned. We got that coming at you.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Frisco?
There we are. I love that sounder. What is up, Frisco? So this is a spot where we highlight what's going on in Frisco. Usually not just the things you're going to find on Google. If you're, out in California, Google up what's up Frisco. It's not going to be that. It's going to be all the stuff that you may not come up with, or fundraisers that you may not know about, things like that. So, Paul, Chance, what do you guys have for this week? And then Kennon and Joanna, I'll ask you guys too. If you do have something, just throw it in the chat box, and we'll come to you guys after this one. Okay.
Well, I was gonna go. I always try to look to see what's going on with our friends at Visual Arts Guild of Frisco with SWAT and Zara, and so they do a really cool thing over at Texas Title. I don't know if y'all know Butch Robinson over there, but they've got a really cool big office wall that they hang all the artists art on. So they're doing it on March 21st. They start their friendship series, and it's a meet the artist, and then they'll have all their artwork up at Texas Title. So March 21st, 5:30 to 7:30. It's a really cool deal. So I always try to go over there and see their different shows, but SWAT will be there, and he is the best dressed photographer in town. So you need to go see him. And then the other thing, I was kind of looking to see what was going on. And, I think with it being March and spring break, there's some lull in the activity. But there's a really good website for Frisco, and it's called Visit Frisco. And they've got tons of events, especially over at the PGA Omni area, at the PGA district. And so you can actually go to that website. And there is a slew of things from the beginning to the end of March with Easter things on there and all that. So, kind of when in doubt, when you think there's nothing going on or we're in a lull because there's spring break, check out Visit Frisco, and you'll kind of be overwhelmed. There was almost too much to mention there. So that's what I've got for Frisco.
Awesome. Well, and the Visit Frisco organization is fantastic. We'll probably have someone on from that group here in the next several months. But that is a great resource, great organization, super instrumental in getting something called the World Cup, to the area here. So They have their hands in smaller events and much larger events. So awesome. Good
Well, and
stuff.
I think once they get into April, I mean, there's that wine, and I can't even. I've lost my train of thought on that wine event that they do for Frisco. So, Brian, I'm sure you've been to it, if you remember.
Yep, for sure. And also the you mentioned the PGA. They usually have something going on every weekend up there, and especially now as the weather's getting better. So yeah, if in doubt, when in doubt, you don't have anything to do with your kiddos.
You just go pop out there and you'll find something to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've got one thing this month. We've had, obviously, I'm partners. A lot of us work with the Legends. March 18th, that Monday night is that game. That is the Total Care Foundation night. And they have actually given me the Party Plaza again. So we can do the total networking before the game. And then I think there's links out there for free tickets and stuff. But it'd be another great night to network and let your kids run around on the bounce houses and watch the Legends play. So that's Monday night. They're almost out of games. So
I know. Didn't our friend Rudy win something last week?
Yeah, he won a lifetime supply of beer. And I don't know if that means like that beer they have. It's actually not bad beer. I don't know who makes it, but he's getting I think it's a 6-pack a week or something.
Yeah. So if you I guess if you run short on beer, go make friends with Rudy.
Yeah.
Well, and that was no small feat for him to win that. Well, I don't think it's a lifetime supply. I think it's an annual, but
annual supply beer. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty
Beer
awesome.
for a year.
He had to putt all the way across the full length of the basketball court and hit a 6-pack in order to win. So it was pretty impressive. I sent him a message. I said an impressive feat of athleticism.
Putting across the floor.
Indeed. Well, hey, I've got a couple things that I do want to mention. We've got episode 3 or season 3 of Frisco's Got Talent going on over at the NAC Theater. So they just narrowed it down to the top 10. That was, I think it was last weekend. So the finals are going to be live at the NAC Theater on Friday, March 22nd. So that'll be at 7 p.m. Again, Friday, March 22nd, the finals of season 3 of Frisco's Got Talent. So that is a live talent show. Go check it out. Pretty awesome stuff. And then you heard it on the commercial break, but I want to make sure we call it out. One of our sponsors is the Frisco Fighters football team. They kick off their season on March 22nd right at Comerica Arena over there in Frisco on, what is that, Gaylord, I believe? Gaylord and Parkwood, I think. Yep. So go check that out. Head coach Andre Coles is one of our co-hosts. Awesome guy, awesome organization. So we will have ticket giveaways as well as we move into their season. So looking forward to doing that. That's all I have. Now, I know, Joanna, I know you didn't have anything. Dr. Kennon, do you have anything that you want to share?
No events. I've got, we're building up to a big BOGO Eclipse weekend BOGO thing. So we're kind of working this month on getting ready for that. We're going to give out Eclipse glasses and so forth, but that's next month actually when it happens.
Well, hey, we can talk about it next week.
We can plug it now if you're ready.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a buy one get one half off, but we'll give an Eclipse set of Eclipse glasses over the whole weekend and hopefully make it much of a party.
Now, is there a date for the eclipse?
April 8th. Yeah, it only happens for a few minutes on April 8th. So you got to be prepared.
Well, it sounds like a party.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we are, I believe, right here in Dallas-Fort Worth, Frisco, I believe we're near the path of totality. If you really want to be 100% totally eclipsed, I think it's a little further east, right?
But only 4 minutes or 4 miles or something I read somewhere this week. So not very far east of where we are. We're pretty close.
Okay. No, that's pretty cool. And yeah, Chance, nice comment there. It's the end of the world. So
this will be our last podcast.
If we truly are facing the world, go get your buy one get one.
Exactly.
Predicting the rapture.
But that'd be the last deal that you get. Your buy one get one.
Yeah.
It'll be a good one.
Go down into flame of glory.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, I always love hearing what's going on in Frisco, and I love the smaller event type stuff that you're not getting off the internet. So thanks for sharing that today, guys. Appreciate that. Head over to Dr. Ryder's stores to pick up your glasses before the end of the world for sure. Coming, what was it, April 8th is the eclipse. Awesome.
I'm calling it. I called it.
All right.
Heard it here first.
Good to see you again, Chance.
It's been real, fellas.
Yeah, we'll see you.
I will enjoy my spring break first. So
yeah, get spring break in and get your birthday in, and then we'll see what happens.
That's true. So a little foreshadowing there. We're going to have a rapid fire segment at the end of the show here, and there may be something involved in spring break there. But before we get there, what I do want to do is transition to allow our guests a little bit of time to go a little bit deeper on themselves. That's what we're here for, right? And that's what all the Community Difference shows are about, is how we get to know local business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, Frisco ISD leaders, all that I mentioned earlier. This is the time of the show where we get to learn more about them. So we always allow the ladies to go first. So Joanna, tell us what. Yeah, you're a lady. That's right.
She didn't know she was going to get treated this well when she came on the show. I had her prepared for like a lot of trouble. And
we take it easy when we have ladies. Yeah. When it's only gentlemen, we're absolutely brutal to each other. But no, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to start your company, Events for You, what inspires you, that sort of thing. So I'll let you kind of take it from here.
I don't know where to start. I mean, I was born a long, long time ago in Europe. So, I did start my company in Europe. Okay. I did start it in Poland, in Warsaw. I was a ESL teacher. And just after like 10 or 15 years of teaching, I said, no, I cannot do the 4 tenses over and over and over and over again. And I'm a creative person. So I thought, hey, let's start a party shop. There's no party shops in the area because there weren't at that time. And I started it a little bit like the guys from Apple, except not in my basement. I started in one of the rooms in my house. And clients started coming in. They liked it. I had to bring in, my merchandise from the UK. I had to bring it in from Germany because there was nothing in Poland, and the US was a little too expensive to import. So I imported it from other countries in Europe, and that's how I started. And then helium balloons. But after helium balloons, I was like, there's something interesting. There's like a lot of people doing all kinds of cool stuff with balloons, the big builds. You're building arches, they're building the walls. And then I came upon different courses. So I'm a certified balloon artist. That is a thing. And I did the courses. So I'm legit. That's why I'm the best. Legit. And I just love it because although you work with balloons, it's constantly different and constantly changes. We had I'm not talking only about COVID, but before COVID, there was a helium issue that it was really hard to get your hands on helium because not a lot of people know that MRI machines are cooled with helium. And when helium was running out, they cut us off, the entertainment industry, to have it for the medical field. So it's just now starting, to come back with the helium. The helium is starting to go down. But when it was sky high or unavailable, we had to think of ways to make balloons attractive. Hence all those builds, all the new techniques, all the new, And so I came because I was coming in the US and Poland back and forth. So this was my last jump to the US in 2019. So I came in 2019. I registered my LLC, and then boom, everything started shutting down. I was like, are you kidding me? So almost 2.5 years, nothing. Warehouses were wiped out of everything, even stuff they couldn't sell for years. They were wiped out totally. And by the time production, kicked in, it took almost an extra year. to get all the merchandise back in stock that we needed. So it was a struggle, but now we're getting back in there. So it's exciting. There's a lot of new techniques all the time, and I'm also broadening my business into event planning because I just love to plan events. I love to put smiles on people's faces. I like when they give me an idea, they give me their vision, and I put it to life, and then they just glow up, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so amazing! I didn't even think it was possible." And that's why I'm in this business. I just like doing what I do. And recently, I got a new machine where I can stuff gifts or merchandise in balloons. And people, to get them out, they have to pop the balloon to open that gift. And I did one for today. I was preparing balloons for this luncheon, women's luncheon. And I did 3 different gifts that they were auctioning off.
Wow.
And it was like, it blew their mind. It's like, how did you put a wine bottle?
It's like you can put what kind of gifts in the balloon?
You can put anything that will fit in a 4-inch hole.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
So, like, if you put like a small wine bottle, is there enough helium to let that float?
It won't float. They don't float. It's too
Okay.
heavy because
Okay.
helium every gram, but it's with air and it stands on a stand, right? And then you can put chocolates in it. You can put full size of wine bottle in it because it's a 19-inch balloon, so it's huge. It's
Okay.
pretty big. And right now I'm trying to promote that as well because you can promote your business that way. If you sell phones or if you sell vitamins or anything.
That's a great idea for a raffle. If
Yes.
you were hosting an event and a raffle drawing for something like that, that's a great idea. In fact, I'm making a note as we speak.
Exactly. So and
Joanne doesn't know this. So I put on a lot of events and whatnot. And a guy I'm doing this event with calls me the other day. He goes, I spent $700 on balloons. And I want to decorate and build. I go, are you crazy? I go, I have a balloon person. I'm not going to go somewhere early in the morning and start blowing up balloons all day. I don't know how to put them together. He wants me to build arches and towers and all this stuff. I'm like, so we'll talk offline, but I just thought that was funny that it was such a funny coincidence that you were coming on. And then I have this guy out of the randomly says, yeah, I got all this balloon. I go,
was he expecting you to blow up all the balloons?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he wants me to come in and I'm like, are you got to be kidding me? He said, yeah, we'll just do it. I go, yeah, I'm not doing it.
People try, we have YouTube. You have all kinds of tutorials. They make it look so easy, so quick and fun.
Until it's time.
People try, they come back to me and they say, you know what? I tried it. I did it once. Never again.
Right.
It's not for me. I was like, yeah, because it takes time. It takes expertise. It hurts fingers because of tying all the balloons. If you're not used to it, you're going to have blisters.
Yeah.
Well, you know why they went to Chance to blow up the balloons.
I got a lot of hot air coming out.
Oh, you got it.
He saw that coming.
Yeah,
there you go.
I was training this liaison that works for me, and she pulled me aside before we walked into a doctor's office, and she grabbed my jacket. She goes, can you just let them talk this time? And so I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll stand over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joanna, I have to ask you. So you said you were going back and forth between Poland and the U.S. Were you operating in both locations?
So I tried, but like I said, COVID hit, so that didn't work. I still have my shop in Poland. My mom takes care of it because I taught her, and she just likes to hang out with me and do the balloons. So she takes care of the Polish store in Poland, but she doesn't do all the creative, the builds. She has rheumatism, so for her it's hard to tie them and to get all that. But she does a whole big amount, and she goes with me when they're set up, so it's pretty cool. And right now, here, no, maybe in the future, we'll see if it's something worth to think about expanding there rather than in Texas, for example.
I never thought about all the balloon tying. I mean, what's your record? I mean, is there like a speed record? Like I've done this many balloons in X amount of time?
I bet there is. I never took part in one. I remember the biggest, the most painful job I had was the Voice of Poland. We did a balloon drop for one of the songs, and we had to fill in a net of almost 800 balloons.
Oh, wow.
And every single time you opened the net, you had to sew it up again, put in the balloons again, and then take it apart for each shot. And just to hear, oh, the angle was wrong. Oh, the lighting was wrong. And I was like, are you kidding me? So for a job that was supposed to last like 2 hours, we spent half the night at the studio redoing the nets, hanging them. And I'm afraid of heights. So they made me walk on those catwalks right above the ceiling, you know, those like, and I was like, I'm not coming. I'll be there. And the guys were just like running there. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's not.
All right,
I think that was the biggest amount of balloons I had to pump at one time.
Such a unique business, Joanna, and I do have further questions for you. I want to hear how you chose Frisco and you know your journey from Poland to Frisco specifically. But let's do this. We got to take a real quick commercial break. I want to hear the answer to that question. Then, Dr. Kennon, let's get into your business as well. So with that, let's hit a quick break. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
JP Direct Health offers affordable health insurance solutions for individuals, families, and small businesses specializing in custom coverages to fit your needs and budget. JP Direct Health offers comprehensive benefits, including PPO health plans, accident and critical illness coverage, dental and vision, health matching accounts, along with telehealth at no cost per call. Call JP Direct Health today to learn more about how we can help you protect your health and your budget.
Do you want your home or office to sparkle? Then call Elite Diamond Cleaning today. From basic cleaning to deep cleaning, and using only the highest quality cleaning products and equipment, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Our team of experienced cleaners will work quickly and efficiently to clean every nook and cranny, taking care of all the details so you don't have to. With a variety of pricing options to fit any budget, you can be sure that you are getting the best possible price. Call Elite Diamond Cleaning today at 214-300-9876 to schedule a free estimate. Your home and office is a diamond. Let us get it out of the dust.
The Frisco Fighters prepare to reach new heights at Comerica Center this spring. From competitive matchups to exciting theme nights, you won't want to miss a second of the action. Join us and experience high-scoring, hard-hitting indoor football that's fun for the whole family to enjoy. Visit FriscoFighters.com for game highlights, tickets, or to reserve your spot at the Tarmac Tailgate Party. Frisco Fighters, fly with us.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111. Are you a business owner looking to grow your company? Get fast, easy financing up to $5 million with no minimum FICO score required. Apply in 60 seconds and get funded in 24 hours. Call Jim Thomas at 214-629-7223 to talk to a financing professional today. Your business's future is waiting. So don't delay. Call now and tell him that you saw him on The Difference.
And now back to the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're gonna take a little bit of a curve here, and Lendon, who is our fearless leader in the background, creator of the Difference platform, creator of all the Community Difference shows. He's got a hot off the presses comet eclipse. An eclipse meme, because we were talking about the buy one get one eclipse glasses you can get over at the B12 store. So Lennon, what you got, my man? I want to see this.
There's a total eclipse. That's about as bad as it's going to get. Chance.
That is your dad joke meme of the day right there.
That is dad joke meme of the day.
Okay, yeah, we needed that moment of absolute dad joke.
I might need to send that one out.
Yeah, you'll sit a lot more around April.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt about it. All right, well, welcome back after that shenanigan. So what we've learned so far, Joanna, you love to put smiles on faces. Love that as your, I don't know if that's a tagline, but I'm making it your tagline for today. That's your inspiration for starting the company Events for You. You're from Poland, hence why you recognize my last name with Poduska, or Poduska if you speak Polish, which I do not. But so tell me, before we get over to Dr. Rotter, I do want to know. So Poland's a long way away from Frisco, right? How did you land in the Frisco area here?
That's easy. My sister lived here.
Okay.
So after 2 divorces, single mom with 2 boys, I figured the best way to change your whole world around and start from zero, because why not come and live somewhere where at least you have some family, right? So
sure.
That's why I came to Frisco. And now she ditched me, but besides the point, she moved. But yeah, that's by Frisco.
Awesome. Well, how's it been for you? How's the transition? I mean, that's a big one, coming from a different continent, different country, different language, all that.
Well, yes, especially that, like I mentioned, I did not need to come because I had everything there, set up. But I just needed to change. Sometimes there's a point in your life where you need to change. And I just figured, okay, I'm bilingual, I'm bicultural because I grew up in the Northeast. So I was like, okay, it's time for the boys to catch up on their language and let's just do it. That's mainly
cool.
it.
Well, you picked a good place, even though your sister left you. You picked a good place.
I think
awesome. So. Well, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate hearing that story. We don't have a whole. I mean, we get a lot of people who relocate to Frisco. Myself,
there's a lot of Chicago people here from Frisco that get here, Brian.
That's right. We come in numbers here. That's where I'm from, originally from Chicago. So we get a lot of folks that relocate, but you don't hear as many that are coming from Europe. So that's an awesome story to hear. With that, I do want to move the conversation over to Dr. Rotter. Same general questions, right? So what inspired you? Sounds like you had or maybe currently still practicing, but very long and I'm sure interesting career as with marriage counseling and whatnot. So tell us how that winding road got to the B12 store ownership.
Yeah, I'll give you the short version of it, but in essence, I really enjoyed both of those careers, and I did them almost always in tandem because each one kind of informed the other. So doing marriage counseling helped me be a better university professor because I was teaching human development, I was teaching counseling classes, I was teaching children and families in crisis and those sorts of things. So marriage counseling helped inform my teaching, but also my teaching and the work to prepare for classes helped to inform my marriage counseling. So I love those careers. I think I did a really good job in both of those careers and loved it. The problem was that the last 18 years I did both of those careers in Dubai, in the Middle East. So I moved there, kind of like Joanna did from Europe to here. I moved there in 2002 for a new adventure. I was teaching in California, Cal State, and got an opportunity to help start, kind of be a part of an early team, creating a new university a federal university in the UAE. But it was built on an American model. And so they were hiring people like me and a number of others. And so that was there for many years and then combined my marriage counseling, which was very much an expat counseling practice. I mean, people were from all over the world, not just from the Middle East, and certainly not just from the UAE. But I love those careers. But the thing they had in common, in my way of thinking, always was that they were the people business. I felt always driven by helping people, students, university students. I never was interested in teaching graduate students because they knew more than I did. maybe
Well, they
not.
thought they did.
They thought they did at least. I was always interested in teaching undergraduates because I sort of got a first crack at a lot of things with them, especially teaching about families, for example. And so that was awfully fun for me. And then the marriage counseling, same thing. I was able to help people sometimes in the most desperate, trying times of their lives. I was helping them either to save their marriages or, in some cases, frankly, exiting their marriages in a more amicable, friendly way. So I love that. But then COVID, I was always planning to come back. My wife had already come back. She also has a PhD and was teaching at, not teaching, but doing research at the University of Michigan. And so I was back and forth every 10 or 12 weeks or so to visit. And that was kind of a working out for us because I was still making money, and she was doing her research work and also making money. But we were always planning to, okay, where are we going to land? Where are we going to be together? And then COVID happened. And so suddenly we needed to rush up our plans for me to exit and come back. But I'd been looking at a friend of ours had left the UAE a couple of years before, and she came to Florida, and she and her husband found a B12 store, and personally, and it helped them so much with their own personal health that they got inspired to open one. And so I was able to watch her open the store and run it for a year or two, and I thought, well, okay, when I come back, I'm going to be too old to get a university teaching job, and I'm not sure I really want to start from scratch with a marriage counseling practice here in America. And so I thought, well, this would be fun. This would be exciting. Yeah, you guys that run small businesses are chuckling because it was a terribly naive approach to things. But I found a partner. I mean, I had a partner who was a friend from Arizona, and he had been in business before and said, this will be fun. Those are the words that we laugh about now. This will be fun. Yes. But we decided to do it. And it looked like a simple enough business that even a person like me who doesn't have a great deal of experience with business could do it. And I must say, 3 years in, I've made it happen. I've done it, but it's been a struggle. It's been a challenge. There's been lots of learning curve here.
But
well, at least you're still smiling. That's the good news.
Exactly. Your background, though, Kennon. I mean, because you're kind of in. I mean, your background is the people business. I mean, either how to figure out how to motivate a new employee or how to talk to people. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it would be a natural. I mean, maybe you learn about the business side, kind of sink or swim type deal. But I would think, you're kind of in the people business, or you always have been.
That's right, and that's what I go on. People, I've learned that a motto now in small business is that I should get to the place where I can work on the business and not in the business. Yeah. And I've done that to some extent, but I'll be honest with you. The most fun thing about my work is when I am in the store and meeting customers and talking to them and asking them questions and listening very carefully to them, as I used to do in marriage counseling, to listen and find out what's going on for you and how can we help you. That's the most fun. The number crunching, the other things that go along with small business, not so much fun.
Well, I would think too that your staff probably enjoys, watching you in that I guess in that space, or it's probably a learning piece for them. I mean, when you're not there.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
That we can dive into that. I'd love to dive into that a little bit more. As we talk about team building and setting culture and things like that, which is the business topic of the month. But yeah, I'm sure inventory management and supply chain and those sorts of things probably weren't high on your radar when you started the business.
No.
Yeah, it's we all, depending on the model of business we choose, it's once you get into the nitty gritty, it's a lot more than and I do love the fact that you have the commonality of, you said helping people is your passion, right? So at the end of the day, when your inventory and your supply chain is all screwed up, you can say, you know what, hey, I'm here, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm helping people.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that aspect of it. Awesome. Well, that's so interesting that we have two kind of international, business owners. I would say on the show today, because we don't oftentimes have a path that landed you in Frisco. So I do have to ask you, Dr. Ryder, same question. You were coming back from Dubai. You said Florida was an option potentially. Frisco is obviously where you're at. How did you make that decision with your wife?
Well, we had to actually buy a house in Dallas area. We decided on Dallas because our kids and grandkids live in Lubbock, and we didn't want to be in Lubbock. and my wife is a research scientist, and so we thought she had better prospects here. And indeed, she now works for one of the major medical centers here. And so this was a good choice for us. But we bought a house before we opened the business and knew where exactly we would open them. But that was my first job, is to figure out where are we going to open our first store. And so Frisco, I was really lured to Frisco because we operate in malls. And so we're looking for the malls, not the malls that everybody's talking about these days that are dying, but the malls that are growing and expanding and being successful. And so there are only a few of those, to be fair. In a city the size of Dallas-Fort Worth, there are very few of them. And some of them are really expensive to be in. But I was attracted really to Frisco because the community is growing. They're very supportive of business, clearly. And the mall there was very, they received us well. They thought we would be a good fit for them. And so it's been a great fit. That store, the first store, I call that our flagship store at Frisco, Stonebriar Mall in Frisco, has been our best producer. It's been our very best one. And I think that's due to a lot of the things that you guys mention all the time about the value of being in Frisco. So yeah, that's so I'm happy that was our first one, and it's been a flagship store for us, and it's been a good thing for us, and we've been successful there.
Well, you even mentioned, like the two other places that you mentioned, Grapevine, that's a huge, with that Grapevine Mall and all that goes on in that area, because we lived in Grapevine for a long time. And, that whole, I guess, the mall structure, works in Grapevine, and then it also works at the parks in Arlington because of all the stadiums and all the traffic they get. So, where you would think, gosh, the mall would be a dying strategy, it depends on where you pick it. Because the three you pick seem to be, very high traffic, high tourism, and Stonebriar especially. So you kind of got it. It was kind of a build it and they will come, probably with Stonebriar. You were there.
Yeah. It was. There were some sleepless nights about what I'd done, but it's proved to be okay. Did you have to
get a counselor for that?
I didn't have time to do that.
Self-medicate, self-counsel, all
exactly. I take my vitamins and go on.
Yeah, try to get your extra hours of sleep and things of that nature. So
that's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we do have one more commercial break we have to take before we get into the business topic of the month, which again, team building in a local setting here. So I want to jump into that. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. But right now, let's give some love to our sponsors.
The Community Difference is a new series of shows powered by the Difference Radio live stream and podcast network. This series of shows was designed to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home.
And we wanted to create a platform that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us. By working with the local community leaders, business owners, first responders, veterans, schools, and citizens, we want to unite with a clear and selfless purpose. The Community Difference seeks to spotlight the people, events, and activities that are producing positive outcomes, inspirational stories, and incredible experiences. In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, The Difference, along with many others who believe and support The Difference, understands there is no better way to make the difference than to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. We are currently searching for local communities to be the focus of our shows, but before we can launch a show in your community, we need your help. We need you along with local business leaders, chambers of commerces, major nonprofits, online community group leaders, networking groups, etc., to join us in making the difference and helping your community be seen, be heard, and be remembered. So, if you would like to know how you, your business, school, social media community, church, or your favorite nonprofit organization can be a part of this unique and powerful program, reach out to us today and introduce yourself and let us know how you would like to contribute and bring awareness to the amazing people, places, and events that are making the difference in the community you love. You can call us at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And that's our difference spotlight, commercial break. And as the commercial said, if you're interested in being on the show or participating as a co-host or starting up a very similar program in your community, would love to hear from you. Certainly reach out to myself or any of our co-hosts. Let us know what you're thinking, and we can expand. And that's what we've been doing. We started the Plano show a couple months ago. We've had a Wiley show for about a year. Rockwall has been going for quite some time. Looking at starting up a Little Elm show potentially here in the near future. McKinney as well. So certainly reach out to myself or Landon Wilson in the background or any of our co-hosts and let us know your interest level. So with that, as I set up in the beginning of the show, we do have a rotating business topic of the month. And the month of March has the business topic of building a strong team and fostering a positive workplace culture in the local environment. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. I have some of my own, but, Dr. Ryder, why don't we start with you? Having 3 different stores, I'm sure having multiple employees at every store, you have a health halo as kind of that's your goal, right? Is keeping people healthy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys do to foster, culture and teamwork and building a team? How do you approach that?
Well, you named it. It's a really difficult thing when you have 3 locations, and all of my staff are part-time. I hire nurses, and many of them have other jobs in other parts of healthcare and so forth, but they're looking for extra work, and they like us because we're in the feel-good business, I say, and very different from what they're doing in clinics and hospitals sometimes. And so yeah, but they're all part-time, and so it's a challenge to motivate and inspire people in different locations. I remember very well how easy it was to develop a culture. Essentially, when I had 3 nurses and I was at Stonebriar almost 7 days a week for the first year, because essentially I was sharing my core values. My values became theirs essentially, and it was easy that we worked together so closely. But it's much more difficult when we have 24. This week 26 now nurses on staff, and I don't get to see them so often. But it is a challenge. But here's what I've learned. One simple thing that I've learned. At first, it simply was an extension. The building culture and values was an extension of me. Things I believe became what we were about. Now, I think I have learned that I have to be very much more intentional with building values and building a team. And that means I've got to work harder at saying, here are our company values, and publishing it in ways so that all of our staff sees it, understands what we're doing. One example is just being terribly respectful of people. First of all, trying to be respectful of my employees, my nurses, and their individual needs and interests. And then, of course, letting that dictate how we are respectful of our customers when they come in. So I'll stop there for right now.
Well, I mean, I like the part about, you kind of have to write it down, because it, in my past lifetimes, I've, managed, anywhere from small to medium or large staffs. And you've got to put it out there so there is no open interpretation. I mean, because everyone, it becomes perception is reality, and whatever is perceived from employees, and then it might be different across of them. But you're right. I mean, I am a big fan of the culture, and when I was working in some different areas, we used to call it the three-legged stool. I mean, we had your sales, your customers, and your employees, and if one of those legs comes undone, then the stool can't stand. And so they're all important. So, I think having it out there and having it not out for interpretation, but this is what it is.
Right.
It's the buy-in.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. One thing Total Care did, which is pretty interesting, is we have 12 leadership values and we have 12 core values, like honesty and things like that. But every month we review that with all the employees in a team meeting, and then we do individual meetings. So everyone understands this is who we are, and if you can't abide by these, then maybe you should not work here. And it's pretty cut and dry. Like if you can't do that, then maybe it's time for you to find something else. But it does reinforce that. I like that a lot, having it published.
Well, and even Chance, the people that work for y'all, even on the business development side, I mean, you're all kind of cut from the same cloth. So if one believes it and two believes it, and then you got, they can all kind of help steer the new folks, or, they want to bring in the right person. I used to have, when I hired people, I used to have, my staff make the hiring decision, because that's who they're going to be working with.
Well, and I think the culture, when you do that, I mean, people that don't fit the culture don't feel comfortable, and they end up leaving on their own if they don't like the way the values are, if they don't like the way things are done. They'll just go about their way if they don't. And it's not bad or good. It just they may not agree with everything that the core of all these different values are.
And Chance, that's a great point. And depending on the size of your organization and your hiring process, I think it's key and instrumental in people understanding what culture they're getting into before they join the team and before you give a job offer, right?
Right.
Because the last thing you want to do is, you bring somebody new on, they don't fit from a personality, values, culture standpoint. You've put time and effort into finding that individual, and then some time and effort into training them, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we've got to get back on the hamster wheel and start again.
Right.
So, I think it's pretty key. And Dr. Ryder, you brought up a good point too. You got to live the values yourself, right? It starts with you. It starts with yourself.
Exactly.
And if you're a smaller business, single-preneur, then obviously that emanates from you solely to begin with. But you got to live it in order for people to see it, believe it, and get on board with it, right?
Right.
So I think that's a great point, Chance and Dr. Ryder. What about and you too, Paul, with your prior career? Managing some high-end clients in a kitchen environment. That talk about herding cats. I can imagine.
Well, it's you have to, and that's what I said. My point was, once I built the real nucleus of my team, and I've had teams from anywhere from 5 to 8 to 35. I brought them. It took me a while, but I learned how to bring them into the hiring process, because it gave them ownership because we had this culture, we had this group, and if we hired in a weak link, that would only make their life more miserable and their job more miserable. So yeah, it was a big ownership piece because we had all kind of created the culture together. And so, it was one of the most beneficial things that I learned. And you can take that into anything, whether, how you work with referral partners or how you, go about your networking thing. I mean, it's kind of like, Dr. Ryder said, I mean, it's kind of starts with you and what your beliefs are and, who you want to work with and who you want to refer out and things of that nature. So it's not just an encompassing, topic for how to build teams. I mean, I think it's a life lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Joanna, question for you, with your multiple different things between the balloon artistry and event planning, do you find that a challenge as far as building a team and keeping them on task and being multi-talented and multifaceted?
So being an artist, it is hard because usually most of us artists are very headstrong. We know what we want. We have that vision. And if somebody just doesn't get it, it's like, how the heck can't you get it? I mean, it's right there. I'm telling you. So I had to learn on the way how to talk with people, communication, right? So I had to learn that just because I have the vision in my head and I'm telling them what I want, they don't necessarily have to have the same vision of my vision, if that makes sense, So I have to learn to do that, the communication and how to explain without having fire coming out of my ears. Because usually another problem with us event planners and balloon artists is where everything is done, timed. We have like an hour or an hour and a half to set everything up because the event's going to start, right? We don't have any lieu time that we can, slack off, or it has to be done really like clockwork. So if somebody slacks off, it's not going to be done. And then you just have to really get into your Zen, communicate.
Breathe a little bit, right?
Breathe a little bit, explain what you want. And also when you build a team and here, I use mostly vendors, right? Because I'm a 1 to 2 person business right now. So I use vendors from outside if I do a bigger job. So it's also difficult because, each vendor has their own business. So they're a business owner, they're their own entity. And here I'm trying to tell them what I want. And they're like, it gets interesting. But we learn to work it, and usually we pick people that we like to communicate with. I think liking the person, having the same, thought process helps a lot. It really helps a lot. And
I can 100% relate to that. We have an army of vendors that help us with our maintenance, and a lot of property management companies they'll start by just plucking names or they get a referral, but it helps to know every single one of your vendors so you can exactly have that. You're exactly right. They're business owners themselves. They can be strong-headed as long as you guys are pulling in the same direction. Exactly. You can use that to your advantage from a team building standpoint, right? So that is absolutely key when you rely on other, people, other outside vendors, owners, that sort of thing. So that's a wonderful point.
And I also get personal. I mean, I like to get very personal and deep. So I like to get to know them. I like to get to know their families. I like to spend time with them because then that builds relationships and it makes our work a lot easier because I know how far I can count on them and, what they can do for me if I'm not available to go there at that time. So are they able to set it up without having me micromanage? That's also very important. So I like to build, and I have a small little group of vendors who I always work with, who I can trust fully.
Love that. Yeah. Trust is huge in culture and that's absolutely it. And you touched on something that we talk about all the time on the show, and that is relationship building and being relational as opposed to transactional. So fantastic point. What I do want to do, guys, is we have one more commercial break to sneak in. And then we're going to dive into everybody's favorite segment, rapid fire time. So
I know we didn't even get like a cheat code or here's what it might be. So
no cheat.
Get ready, Chance.
So
I'm ready, man.
buckle up. boys and lady. We're hitting that after the break. So see you soon.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, Head Coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Rapid fire.
I'm wearing my bulletproof vest, so I didn't have to duck today for the sounder. But as you heard, our sounder indicates that this is the rapid fire segment. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Feel free to answer right off the top of your head, or think about it for 2 seconds. It's about all you get. If you need to pass, you can pass, and we'll come back around to you. But there's no need to explain. Although if there is a great explanation behind it, we'd love to hear it. So, with that being said, we are the Frisco Community Difference Show. So the first question is going to be about Frisco. And since we are approaching spring break, I can't remember, Chance, if that was you who mentioned it earlier. I'm going to have a two-part question. Number one, are you doing anything for spring break? And then number two, second part is, if you had to do a staycation in Frisco, what would it be? So we'll start ladies first. Joanna, tell us, are you doing anything for spring break? And then if you were staycation in Frisco, what would you do?
So I'm not doing anything at the moment, but that can always change. It's from day-to-day basis. And if I could have a staycation, it would probably be bike riding. Okay. There's a few bike paths I discovered, and I'm discovering more and more, and have a picnic somewhere.
All right. I like it.
I'm simple, easy.
Dr. Ryder, what about yourself?
What's spring break? What's spring break?
Yeah, right? I know it.
We're going to just work.
Yeah.
No, I know one's coming. We hope business is good during spring break, actually. But so we're not doing anything special for spring break. I have a birthday coming up not long after that, and we're going to do a little something for that, but that'll be out of town. So what I would do if I were doing a staycation would probably involve PGA Frisco and the Omni, and that really appeals to me. I think that would be my staycation.
Well, you stole mine, but that's cool. We'll come up with something different.
Probably a lot of start. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm kind of like Dr. Ryder. I'm gonna take a trip after spring break. We're gonna go see the Bellamy brothers up in St. Joe, Texas. So we're gonna go see them. If I was gonna stay in Frisco, I'm gonna say PGA as well because I saw it. I took a tour when it was under construction with a friend of mine that was the director of development, and now I want to go see it all put together. So same thing.
Okay, Chance.
You guys are ruining it. I think what I might do is I might try that dueling piano bar at the Star.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I might slide up to the casino since you guys already stole the PGA. Maybe I just going up to the.
It sounds like we're taking like a PGA trip together.
Yeah, really. We could have a boys trip.
Go.
Well, in that case,
we need them to sponsor. We need them as sponsors.
Yeah.
So
Lyndon said he'd sponsor it.
Yeah.
So
who's this Lyndon you're talking about?
The voice behind the curtain, the man behind the curtain.
Yep, there's nothing to see here, is what he's saying right now.
Yeah.
PGA, absolutely. Have you guys been up there?
Yeah, I was there for the Frisco Gala.
Okay, so
I have not. That's why I really am keen to go.
So if you haven't been there, they've got this monstrous putting green, right? It's called the dance floor, and you can, I think you pay $5 and you can basically play 18 holes on this massive putting green. Around or right behind the putting green, they have these little villas. So it's like a 3 or 4 bedroom villa, and they have them sprinkled throughout the course. But the ones that you can see are right behind the dance floor. So I'm lobbying right now. So when we get enough of these shows on board, these community shows, Lennon will be flush with cash enough to rent out one of those villas, and we can all, we'll probably have to pay for our own caddies and whatnot, but we can all make a golf outing up to PGA Frisco. So
I like it.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Since we're on the topic of spring break, very simple one. It's an either or if there's something else that comes to mind, let me know. But mountains or beach? Chance.
Mountains.
Cool. Joanna.
Skiing.
Beach.
Paul.
Beach.
Kennon.
Mountains.
So I think we're 50-50 right now. I'm also a mountain. So that, and Landon, what about you?
Mountains.
Yeah, okay. All right, mountains.
Big
In
win.
a landslide.
Mountains will win.
Well,
All right. I was going to throw an election question in there.
Who?
Be careful.
I'll stay away from the politics.
Yeah, stay away from it.
That was my teaser. I'm staying away from it. Frisco focus question. Favorite place to eat dinner in Frisco? Paul.
Oh, pass. I don't know.
Kennon.
Well, I'll have to think about that for a second as well.
Cheesecake Factory, right?
I've hardly ever, I've
I've
never had a
never
piece
been
of
up there.
cheesecake there.
I've never been
Never.
there.
In 3 years, never. So I don't know that. Not that probably.
Joanna.
I'm going to shock you. It's the Frisco Gun Club.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
love that
wow.
place. And recently I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
spending a lot of time there, and it's amazing.
So I didn't
mess with
realize
that.
they served dinner there.
Yes, they have a really good restaurant. And they always put the fireplace on for me, so I'm like spoiled.
You're a VIP, huh? I like it.
Service.
Nice.
I like it. Chance?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's some Mexican restaurant. It's always Mexican food for me. I like tender a lot too.
Dude, I was just going to say tender.
I was gonna say, Brian. If everything goes well, mine's gonna be Tender's Barbecue.
There you go.
If everything goes well.
Yeah.
If everything goes well, it'll be Tender's Barbecue.
Yep, more to come on that, but yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. I go there every week, and we may have more information on that. Did you guys come up with something, Paul, Kennon?
No, I mean, I'm trying to. No, I don't have. I've got nothing.
All right.
Yeah, I like. We go to Torchy's. I like their bar, their cocktails. I like the food there, and it's a interesting take on tacos. So yeah, it's
like
really
it.
good, and it's close to the store.
I mean, I like Mexican food, but they're on the Plano Frisco border, so I'm kind of
Well, I'm gonna throw in my last answer, and then we've got to put a bow on this sucker. But one of my first ever restaurants that I came to was the Hacienda Ranch right on Preston, and we still go to that place, for special occasions and things like that. So I understand it was probably one of the OG restaurants in Frisco.
And they can pack them in that place too, because they've got one over there in Grapevine that they could just load them up in there.
Yeah, so I'll throw that one out there. But hey, guys, as I always say, time flies when we're having fun, and these shows always go by so darn quick. We are out of time, so I do want to go around the horn. I want to let you guys just remind the audience who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you. So we're going to start with ladies first. Joanna, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you.
So my name is Joanna Rattan, and I'm the owner, main designer, and event planner of Events for You. And you can get a hold of me by calling me. And my number is 469-786-7119, or Facebook, Instagram, emails. I also have my own webpage, www.theevents4you.com. I thought that would be easy. It turns out it's not.
It's all scrolling at the bottom. You're good.
Yeah.
All right, really quickly, Dr. Ryder, go ahead.
Yep, Kennon Ryder. I have the B12 stores in North Texas. One is the Stonebriar Mall. One is in Grapevine Mills Mall, and Grapevine in the third in Arlington at Parks Mall. And you can get a hold of us. We do all kinds of vitamins and injectables, vitamins and supplements, not just B12. And you can get a hold of me through the B12 Stores North Texas is the best way. And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook there, searching.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And really
Thank you.
quickly, we got about 10 seconds. Nope, I'm sorry, guys. We're
Bye,
out of
guys.
time.
Right.
Chance, Paul, you guys are on every month anyway, so all your info's there.
Yeah.
Awesome
Come see
time
us.
today, guys. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you for your insights. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you back here next week. Bye.
All right. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching today's show. The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by
Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, Head Coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team.